It's a great honor and a privilege to introduce Hal Crane. Hal, we've known each other 10 years, roughly 10 years.
10 years ago.
We were in
a foreign
Lithuania
country,
together,
yes.
in Lithuania. You live in New Jersey, but you came to Israel to volunteer, and you've done it many times. And you are a staunch Zionist, and you are an amazing friend, and we've kept in touch all these years.
Which is amazing all by itself.
So could you tell us a little bit about why you decided to come to Israel this time?
Okay, this trip came for two purposes. One, to participate in a Shura Hadin mission, and two, it may be more important for me to volunteer where I could to help out. As part of the volunteering, I was in touch with Pamela Lazarus, who runs something called Hamal 86, out of the 86 B'nai Yehuda synagogue in Tel Aviv. It's a giant Hamal that provides essentially a free store for soldiers. It could be socks, it could be neck warmers, it could be sweaters, long underwear, toiletries, tools, all sorts of things that soldiers need. And she does an amazingly credible job of providing things. I think she's already supplied things for 63,000 soldiers since the war started. And she does it, all volunteers, nobody gets paid anything. So I was privileged to be able to bring some items with me from the United States for the soldiers. Some were tools, others were lip balms. I brought 100 lip balms that she told me that was something light I could bring and the soldiers could use. So I bought 100 of them and put them in my suitcase. Nobody asked any questions about why I was doing that. And with some of the other things, as soon as I brought them over to the Hamal, they were packed up within an hour to be sent out to soldiers. So that was one of the things that I did volunteering. I also volunteered with a woman named Revital, who does amazing things as well. And that we took a taxi cab to an insurance company building. We didn't really know what we were doing. We got there, we found out that somehow she managed to get almost all the people working in this building to help her prepare goodie bags for soldiers. So that in that particular building, there were shifts of maybe 20 minutes to half an hour of people coming from work, coming down, working, filling up little bags with either nuts or candy or sunflower seeds, putting stickers on them. I was involved in filling up sunflower seed bags. I also must have written 50 letters to soldiers. The whole group of people writing letters of support for the soldiers. We then put them in boxes, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people there. It was really very, very gratifying. And what the best thing for me was when I met Revital, I said, I learned about you from my daughter Shoshana. And she said, Shoshana from New Jersey? You're Shoshana's father? Wow! So that made the trip for me. And I enjoyed spending time with people volunteering there, and then on to the Shura Hadin mission, which has been very educational. We started out going to the south and unfortunately seeing what happened in Kfar Aza. We went to the Nova site where we heard from a survivor, and then we had all of 15 minutes to search and see all the 1,200 people, signs who had perished. So one of the people who was involved in, I operate I shouldn't say operate, I'm a co-leader of a hostage walk that's been in our town for 8 months. One of the people who's very active has a relative who was murdered at Nova. So I asked him what the person's name was so I could go look for it. And I knew in the 15 minutes we had, there's no way I could find one name. So I asked several other people, please help me find this name of Idan Herman. And luckily, 1 minute after we were supposed to leave, one of the young interns found it. So I went over and took some pictures of that sign, and I lit a yurtzeit candle. Actually burned my fingers lighting the yurtzeit candle, and sent the pictures home to my friend Gil. He was very appreciative.
And he called you a tzaddik.
Yeah, he wrote me. Well, he wrote a note. I'm very embarrassed that he did that, But I think he's a tzaddik because he, among other things, helps soldiers with PTSD in Israel. He does a lot of things, and he's the type of person, if we need anything done, he's the first one to volunteer. So we're fortunate. I really should talk about the walk. Our walk was started somewhat late because there have been walks in the United States starting, and in other parts of the world soon after October 7th for the hostages weekly walks, where we try to bring awareness of what happened on October 7th and awareness of the hostages. I learned about it because it was being done in my daughter's town, and we were driving up to Westfield, New Jersey, where my eldest daughter lives, going to those walks. And my middle grandson actually had a dog walk to raise money for the Israel Guide Dog Center as a part of that walk. The Israel Guide Dog Center is another place that we like to support, and we actually raised enough money to name a puppy, which we got to meet last December, and he's now almost 1 year old, and he actually lives not that far from here in Jerusalem. He's being fostered by people that live near the Prime Minister. So that was another important thing for us. So our walk is in Marlborough, New Jersey, started because I got tired of driving to my daughter's town. I said, why don't we do it in our town? So we have had this one in our town now for almost 8 months. And I have an amazing co-lead, Rima, who makes electronic posters every week and videos of what we do. And we have anywhere from 30 to 100 people coming. And unfortunately, most groups have stopped as soon as all the living hostages are returned. They stopped their walks. Our group is dedicated to everyone, especially the ones now who are no longer alive but still missing. Even though there's 3 left, we're still walking because we've said till every hostage comes home, and there are 3 left, and we'll keep walking till all 3 are home.
Please go ahead.
So that's a good summary.
And how can I ask, how many times have you come to Israel, roughly?
This is my 18th trip.
18th trip.
Some were volunteering, some were missions, some were Federation trips, some were ACE trips, some were Chabad trips, a couple of B'nai B'rith trips, and one family trip. I came to a family wedding, but mostly volunteered during that trip.
And how, you were born in the States?
I was born in Chicago, Illinois.
So can I ask you a very hard question? What we've seen since October the 7th, all the encampments and all the protests and the anti-Israel hate fest that's actually infested all over the world, but also in America, and now having the mayor of New York. How do you feel about the change, what's happened in America?
It's horrible. It's disgusting.
Did you ever think
it's nauseating? I'm shocked beyond words. And things are so bad, and we have a daughter in Providence, Rhode Island, which is the home of Brown University. She did not want us coming up to see her because she didn't want us to witness what she's been seeing every day, an encampment in Brown, people flying Palestinian flags. They had the Palestinian flag flying in the city hall. Unknown people filled all the stop signs, says stop, and they put a sticker on, Israeli genocide. So you couldn't avoid it there. She didn't want us to see it. And our community isn't so bad. Where we live in Marlborough, New Jersey, we are lucky, I guess, but other places in New Jersey, it's one town, or actually a city, they like to call themselves Little Gaza. And as I was telling my dear friend Les, I'm so happy to see you again, 3 weeks ago I went to a symposium in a church called The Humanitarian Crisis in Gaza. Half the people there were Muslims, half the people were Christians, about 400 people were there, and it was Israel Hate Fest of both Muslim speakers and Christian speakers. There were 3 Jews that were there, and we sat there pretty silently. I wrote up pretty detailed notes. Actually, there's even a rabbi who was a speaker denouncing Israel, which is really very, very sad. Graduate of the Jewish Theological Seminary, and Her whole career is based on left-wing activist politics. But it's pretty sad when you hear someone talk about, a Jew talking about genocide being committed by Israel, which is a lie. And even to show the damage that people can do, there was an elder of the Presbyterian Church who also was making the case for Israel genocide. And to prove it, she quoted a professor from Brown University, Omar Shem Tov, who she claims is supposed to be she claims he's an expert. She also quoted Peter Beinart, another self-hating Jew, who has a book apparently called The Reckoning. She was talking about that book, and she went through a whole litany of international organizations making accusations against Israel. So it was a 3-hour Israel hate fest. It was pretty hard to stomach. And I'm very proud of a rabbi who's a friend of mine, Rabbi Robert Wolkoff, who got up and said he's the rabbi of a proud Zionist congregation. And the crowd jeered him for saying that.
Well, kol hakavod that you went.
Yeah, it was not fun. But the good news is, sort of, that they said they had kosher dinner and halal dinner available afterwards, but I didn't stay. I just wanted to get out of there as fast as I could.
And how are people in your community, or people that you know, are they speaking about making aliyah or coming to live in Israel?
I don't know anybody doing it because of October 7th, but we have had people. We've had a number of young people from our community have made aliyah. Some are in Jerusalem, some are in Tel Aviv. Sometimes when we come, we have to bring stuff for them.
Well, I want to thank you, and you are such an example for everybody, and we should continue our friendship.
We have to continue our friendship, but I'm just a person. I don't see myself.
You are an example for all of us.
I don't think I'm anybody special.
Well, you are an example for all of us, and I'm so grateful to you.
Well, thank you, my dear friend. I can give you a hug because I love this guy. He's really great.
We got on so well the moment we met in Lithuania, and it will just continue. And please God, one day you'll come live here, and we'll be together. But let you just have mazel bracha, and continue doing the most amazing work that you do.
Thank you.
And your love for Israel is
I just do what I can. That's all.
It's just so inspiring to have somebody who's so passionate about Israel and the Jewish cause, and we really are grateful to you.
Well, thank you. We're just doing what we can, and it's never enough, I think.
Thank you so much.